Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a trick that we've been using across all of our client accounts that is insanely profitable, and the cool thing about it is that it works without using a discount code. So here it is right here. This is actually the fourth email into the flow. You can still see it's still pulling in a 0.6% placed order rate. Usually all the metrics like placed order rate tank the further along you go into the flow. But this email that we've been putting in particular, we actually see a huge spike in conversions. So no one really uses this trick. I haven't seen it anywhere else on the internet. So I thought I'll be the first one to really share it and spread it to light. And putting discounts in abandoned cart checkout flows is good until customers start expecting them. But what if you could create real urgency and spike conversions without one? So this abandoned cart trick is insanely profitable, dead simple, slightly unethical, but also feels completely natural to the customer. So in this video, we'll go over what it is, why it works so damn well, how to create one for your own store, and how to set up correctly inside of Klaviyo, because that's actually important, because there is a scenario where you can actually almost annoy customers a little bit by setting it up incorrectly. So if you don't know me and you're new here, my name's Kieran. I've generated over $7 million in e-commerce email marketing, working with some of the biggest brands around the world. And I've got social media, all linked in the description. Here's some results if you want to check me out. So what's the trick? Well, it's actually a low stock alert email, which taps into their fear of missing out. So when a customer see a product that they liked, maybe they've added to cart or viewed that item on the store, and now all of a sudden you're saying, hey, it's running low. The hesitation from actually going ahead and buying that item now turns into some urgency. And the best part, this doesn't cost you a cent in margin. So this is an example, a real example that we've been using. And as you can see, it's just dead simple. Low stock, the item you added to cart is now low in stock and expected to run out soon. And there you place the button. Either return to cart or return back to the item that they were viewing in the browse abandonment flow. So where you want to use this, again, it's successful in the abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, abandoned browse, and it usually works best when you place it as the second or very final email in the flow. So the first part of the flow is simply just trying to get them to convert, maybe still educating a bit about your store, showing off some social proof. If they still haven't purchased yet, this is where you want to bring in this trick at the final stages of that flow. So why does it work so well? Well, this trick taps into something discounts can't touch, which is fear of loss. When a customer sees low stock, it signals that the product is in demand, and they may miss out entirely if they hesitate. So unlike a discount, which feels a bit manufactured, this creates a real-world consequence. They might have to wait weeks for a restock or miss out completely. And something just in marketing in general that you really want to understand and why this works so well is that pain is more powerful than pleasure. As a human species, we're more motivated to avoid pain than we are to pursue pleasure. So this FOMO trick that we're doing here creates emotional pressure, not wanting to lose what they already wanted by adding something to cart or viewing an item that they were interested in. And that's always going to be more powerful than saying, hey, save an extra 10% off. Low stock adds realism, credibility, and urgency without cheapening your brand or eating into your profit margin. Of course, if you try to use this trick twice on a customer, it won't work. So that's what I mean. You've got to be careful with how you set this up, which we will cover in just a second. This is another example, a plain text example. But we'll break it down even further in just a second. So what's some best practices? Like, how do you want to set this up? What's the tone? All that good stuff. So the key elements you want to include, the way we've set it up is it makes it feel more like a transactional notification rather than some marketing trick. So it should read like a system alert, not a marketing message, like it's just straight urgency, no real other promotion, I guess. So skip all the flashy branding, aim for a clean, plain layout like that mimics like order confirmations. Like you kind of want the customer to think, hey, this is like an automated message. Like, oh, there must be a system that they've set up where they go below a certain stock limit that the email automatically sends out. That's kind of like the feeling and some conscious thinking that you want to happen in the customer's head. And this works insanely well when you got the dynamic product showing as well, which you can do in the browse abandonment flow and the abandoned cart checkout flow. So only does that, again, add a bit more realism there, but the customer can see the item that they were about to buy and instantly re-engages their interest. In the plain text email, you notice that we've highlighted the actual number of stock red. Again, this is supposed to make it feel like this is a dynamic element inside the email and a bit more of a transactional email to make the scarcity feel that bit more realer. There's also something we've been testing is actually making it very apparent and clear about the restock delays. So let them know how long it actually takes to restock, because if they don't order now and they miss out, they can see very clearly. They could be waiting an extra 3 weeks, 2 weeks. And again, that's the pain that we're trying to inflict here. If they don't order now, they're at risk of waiting an extra 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, this realism drives action. Every element should reinforce that. And there's some other cool little tricks that you can do inside of the subject line itself, which is where you can add in the abandoned product name dynamically. So it may be, low stock and then just the product name. Again, it feels very transactional, right? So this is the actual code inside of Klaviyo that you can use for the abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, and then for the abandoned browse. That's actually important to know, and you always want to test this yourself because Klaviyo's triggers are always changing. But every different trigger that you use, there's different data that Klaviyo pulls in under that trigger, under that metric. So you want to make sure that these dynamic product names are actually showing up correctly. But at the timing of this video, this is the correct ones. So how to set this up inside of Klaviyo. Let's get into that. So the most important thing you want to do here is, because again, like we've mentioned throughout this video, you don't want to use the same trick twice on a customer because that destroys the illusion. So you actually want to set up a conditional split here to push these people towards a different path if they've re-entered the flow a second time. So usually what we recommend here doing, if they've already been in the flow once, then we can create a conditional split where they'll go down to get that general discount that you usually give away at the end of these flows. Or you could do something different. But usually if we're aiming for high conversions, discount still obviously works pretty well. So yeah, you want to put in a conditional split with the flow filter, received email. Sorry, what someone has done or not done. Person has received email where flow equals. So you actually got to click this little extra filter button to get these 2 extra fields here, where flow equals, and then the name of this current flow you're currently in is greater than, and then this will depend on how many emails you have above this conditional split over all time. Now, if you think about it, you want to make this number just higher than the amount of emails above this conditional split, because if they receive more than those emails, then they'll go down the yes path and just get the discount. If they haven't, then this must be their first time in this flow automation. So they'll go down the no path with the low stock that we're doing. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if not, just reach out, happy to help. And the other thing you want to be doing here is always include at least 2 emails here, right? The way we've been doing it and the way we have got it to work really well is actually use the first email as a graphic email, so they can graphically see, hey, low stock on the item I was viewing, or low stock on the item I added to cart. And then it's always good to follow up these emails. Same if you were doing a discount code in your flow. You always want to follow up, because again, just remember, half the people ever open the email. The other half may completely miss it. So you always want to open it up and follow up, usually with a plain text email. So show them with a dynamic product and then with a plain text email. Again, you can also dynamically put the name of the product here as well. Just a quick heads up, there are only 17 left in stock, and this one's been getting a lot of attention lately. Would hate for you to miss out, we add in the extra incentive of free shipping, clear, very clear link back to their cart or to the product they were viewing. One click away. We also add in some FAQs. If you still have any other questions, here's our contact page as well. So again, we're still giving them a genuine reach out, I guess, and just letting them know, like, hey, if you're interested in this product, then this is the time to buy right now. And there's not much other things or ways you can actually elicit action from a customer without huge urgency like this. So highly recommend trying this trick. And that is everything. So guys, if you like this video, please feel free to drop a like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll help you. I'm very active on the comments on my YouTube. So feel free to ask any questions that you would like. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, there's a link to book in a call as well, and you get a free audit. So cheers guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully that was helpful.